But big news about Arsenal is Martinelli is reportedly agreed to sign a new deal. How important is that for you, man?
Massive, huge, and top player, and that'd be great news if we sign him, because
Yeah.
I think he's class, Terry, and I think that he's a massive part of our team going forward. It staves off competition for his signature, and if people do want to buy him, it's now going to cost him an absolute king's ransom. So yeah, man, I've liked him since he rocked up. I think he hit the ground running under Unai Emery, and I think he's been brilliant, man. He's been a brilliant player for us so far. And the thing I like about him is his directness. He just gets the ball, and it's like he's playing in a playground. Right, just runs. Like, I've seen him ruin Trent 2 seasons in a row. Literally ruin him. Like when we lost to Liverpool last season, most of our players that day were trash. He went. He was the only one that could have got in that Liverpool team that day. And yeah, man, that's great news. Like, great news. We need to get Saka signed up as well. I see Fabrizio saying on a video the other day, Saka's contract offer they've been negotiating since February. It's like we're nearly in January. That's nearly a whole year. What's going on here? But yeah, hopefully that news is true, because he's going to be a top player over the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, he certainly is. I think he's been brilliant this year. He's getting better. It's important to get these players signed up. You know, Saliba's new deal is on the agenda, and that's going to be key because he's been so good. Saka as well. Just keeping hold of these players. And I think, as you said there, if a City or a Real Madrid does come in, at the very least, you're going to get big money for these players if they decide to go. You know, you don't want to be losing them on a free. But I think that also coincides with the Mudryk news as well, that plays in the same position as him. I mean, that deal is close. You know, the player wants Arsenal. He's been on his knees for you for weeks and months now. How are you feeling about it? I know we spoke about it a few weeks ago, but you more excited about that deal? Do you think it's going to be enough to move the needle now that Gabriel Jesus is out injured? What are you saying?
Terry, I genuinely, right, and this is going to upset all the snowflakes that don't like the truth, but I'm going to say the truth because this is my truth. I genuinely couldn't care less if we sign him or not. Like, let's like all the people that are going to cry about it when they see this on playback or in the chat, add up how many minutes you've watched him play for, and what? Tell me what, right? Because let's be real, Terry. The only time anyone's ever watched that kid is in Champions League football, and I'd say 90% of the time he's played in Champions League football. When it's not against a Madrid or a team like that, there's been bigger and better games on, so nobody's watching Shakhtar. Like, let's be real. Yeah, it's true. Like, people say the French league's a farmers' league. Well, what does that make that league then? Right? And we've not even put a bid in for him. Fabrizio tweeted out an hour ago saying Shakhtar director Nicolini on Mudryk. He said Mudryk has received the message, like other players, to show up in Antalya in Turkey training camp. Antalya, sorry, is that in Turkey? I think it is. On the 9th of January. Yeah, this is interest for Arsenal for him, but we have not received an official bid, is what he said. Yeah, and that's the vice director of Shakhtar saying that. So I'm not sure whether we're going to sign him. I'd rather go and sign Wilfried Zaha, if I'm honest. And that's a player that I think would get a lot cheaper because he's got 6 months left on his contract. He can play up front. Can this kid play up front? Can this kid play with his back to goal? Nobody knows. He plays in the same position as Martinelli. So, yeah, great. We need strength, and I'd like us to get strength. But is he going to be a player that's going to come in and hit the ground running? I'm not sure. I do think Wilfried Zaha would, and I think it'll cost half the price. Maybe even less than half the price. If we wanted to get Zaha with 6 months left on a deal at just, 30 years old, we'll get 2 years out of him. Just put him on a 2 with an option of a third. Get him for 20 million. 100 grand a week is what roughly he's on at Palace, and just go and get him. Or you could just swap Eddie and Nketiah for him because Eddie ain't good enough. So go and swap Eddie for Zaha. Yeah, Eddie was due to be going to Crystal Palace, if you believe the reports, in the summer when his contract was up, but he ended up staying. And Palace have been flirting with him for a few years, and same with us with Zaha, and vice versa. So yeah, I think we should go and get him instead. Like, it's all well and good. Like, then the thing is, there's a lot of people out there that just jump on a bandwagon, Terry, right? And just like the amount of days that I do streams or videos. Oh, let's go and sign Mudryk. Let's go and sign Mudryk. Nobody watches him, Terry. Let's stop playing the game here. Like nobody sits and watches Ukrainian football unless you are probably Ukrainian.
Mm.
Because you're not going to sit there your choice of all the games on a weekend and go, I know, I'm going to watch Mudryk today. You're not. So nobody knows how good he is. Nobody knows how bad he is. Nobody knows what his real strengths are other than looking at compilations that have got pop smoke music over him doing the rounds by teenagers, Terry. So I ain't really fussed if we sign him or not. If we sign him and he goes on to be a great player, fantastic. If we don't, I ain't going to lose any sleep over it, if I'm honest, mate. I'd rather go for somebody more tried and tested for now. Whilst we're top of the table, we need someone now. Yes, look for the future as well, but we've got our best player out injured and we need somebody who can score goals. Eddie ain't going to do that. And if people want to bring up last season, oh, he scored at the end of the season 5 goals. Yeah, that took us from 4th to 5th. Yeah, we're
So
top of the table. Go and
so
get someone that
so
can keep us there.
So barring Zaha, if you've got to go out and get a striker now, who are you going for, Lee? Like, who would you go out there and move the needle to score the goals, or to
Mitrovic.
replace what you lose? Mitrovic.
Well, I would say Ivan Toney, but I think he's in a bit of bother.
Yeah, he's just been charged. He's getting a betting
Yeah,
scandal.
so I think he's going to be out the game for a little while. But that would be my ideal choice is Ivan Toney. But we haven't got a player in our club that can bully a defense, yeah, and hold the ball up back to goal. I know Jesus can kind of do that, yeah, but Jesus is more of an all-round footballer rather than just a striker, if that makes sense. Yeah, he can do the back to goal here and there, but he's more deeper than that. He'll float onto the wings. Whereas if you look at the game we played against Juventus the other day, prime example, any team that we're facing this for the rest of the season, if they go and watch that game against Juventus C team the other day, that is how you play against Arsenal. Park the bus, get us to push out to the wing and cross high balls in. We can clean up all the headers. If we've got somebody like Mitrovic, like an Ivan Toney, even a Zaha, somebody that can win headers here and there, causes a problem, Terry. Right? And we haven't got any player in our forward lines or attacking positions that can do that. So when we do all these nice, pretty patterns and it works, great. But we're top of the table. Teams are going to park the bus for the rest of the season when they come up against us. Yeah. So now we have to go for plan B. We ain't got a plan B. Eddie's not going to bully a centre back. He's not going to win bullet headers at the back stick. Neither's Smith Rowe, neither's Martinelli, neither's Saka, neither's Odegaard. Like, where are we getting that plan B from? Jesus can't do it either. So I feel like we need a different profile of attacker. And if it's not going to be Zaha who can play multiple positions, then go and buy Mitrovic. Yeah, he knows where the back of the net is.
Listen, I think Mitrovic is a good shout of a player that I think Prem clubs should look at. Just on Ivan Toney really quickly. So this is the official word here. The FA have informed Brentford that Ivan Toney has been charged in relation to an additional 30 breaches of FA betting rules, taking the total to 262 breaches. He has until Wednesday, the 4th of January 2023 to provide a response. If he has got 206, I mean, I don't know other people that have been done for betting. But if he's got 262 breaches, this guy could be looking at a fucking lifetime ban. And you also know that they're often far worse on betting breaches than they are drug cheats. Like, legitimately, he could be done out here for that. And
This
what's
goes back to his days at Peterborough as well, I think. I think some of
yeah,
this goes back to his But the thing is, we don't really know exactly what's happened, right?
no,
And what you've got to ask yourself as well, right? He gets picked to go into the England national team for the last warm-up game before the World Cup. Then he doesn't get picked to go to the World Cup. So did they already know about this?
Well, I think maybe the FA have probably turned around to Southgate and said, "This is what's coming. Your choice, but be mindful. You pick him and it goes wrong, and then it comes out that you know what he's going to be charged with. It's going to look bad. You just don't want that." Southgate probably just didn't want that hanging over his head. Maybe he gets charged and then he gets found innocent, but Southgate can't take that risk because he's got to protect himself as well. It's going to be interesting to see what Brentford do now.
But then if Ivan Toney beat France, and then we ended up in the final.
No,
Footballers are shameless. Football managers are shameless, Terry. Football as an industry is shameless. It's got no morals whatsoever.
What's interesting to see here, club statement, or the club have released a statement. Let's see what they've said. Let's see what Brentford have said. Our private discussion with Tony and his legal representative matter continue. Ivan is what has until the 4th. Will make no further comment. for Brentford. So Brentford haven't decided yet whether they're going to suspend him or not either. This guy might not be able to play. Like Brentford have got to protect themselves as well. Like they've got to ask for full disclosure, what's going on, what's being said. But yeah, he looks in trouble. But I do agree. Like I think Arsenal need some players. What's your thoughts on the links to João Felix? You know, there's been talk about that happening. Would you like to see João? Very different from a Mitrovic, but would you like to
Mm.
see João Felix come in?
I like that player. I do like him, but it's going to cost an arm and a leg. And I just don't see us doing it, Terry. Like that is a player that I would take in a heartbeat. But I just don't think it's going to happen. The only way that could potentially happen is on a loan. Loan him until the summer with an option or an obligation. Because then I think if you then start paying for the player, it goes on to the following financial fair play year. So I don't see us going out there and starting doing that, adding that onto this year when we've already shown a loss in money, in revenue and stuff like that. And, you know, I think we lost 45 million in the last financial year. I don't really see how we're going to go and bust out 85 million on one player. I don't see that. And especially when we've still got Nicola Pepe on our books, by the way, who was our current record signing
I think with
at
I think
72.
with Felix, you sign someone like a Felix, and I think you'll win it. You're definitely. I mean, I already think you're going to win the league, but I think someone like him almost guarantees it. You guarantee Champions League football from this point, which is 60, 70 million. I say spend now and don't wait.
You think we're guaranteed Champions League?
Yeah. No team in the history of English football had this many
No,
points.
I know that. I know you're only going off of what previous is, but it's not cut and dry yet, Terry. We've had 6 weeks off of football.
Nah, you guys will be. There's
Yeah.
no way. There's no way you don't make top four. You can't even you. Even though I know secretly you've got Mikel Arteta pajamas now. I've been told. Been reliably informed.
Hey,
Even
so have
you.
you, mate. So have you.
I got bed sheets, everything. But I
Hey,
I
Mikel
know
Arteta
you,
is scared. That's the next video.
yeah, you know for a fact that you're making the Champions League as a bare minimum.
I would no, Terry. Listen, I've watched football for long enough to know that nothing is guaranteed until it's guaranteed. We had this same conversation when Arsenal was sat 4 points clear of Tottenham with 3 games to play. Yeah. So let's slow down here a little bit because although we have been brilliant this season, all of our players have been top draw. We've been playing the best football. We've got the best defense along with Newcastle. 6 weeks off of football is a game changer, and it's Christmas fixtures. And I'm fuming as well, by the way, because we play on New Year's Eve, and it's a 6:30 kickoff here. So I might just hear the bells chime at midnight once I've finished doing all my videos. I'm fuming.
Yeah.
But again, Brighton away is not an easy game. West Ham at the Emirates, we don't know how it's going to be. How many West Ham players went to the World Cup? 2, 3? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, we looked good in a couple of the preseason games or the pre-season or whatever you want to call it, going back into football, like Lyon and AC Milan, we blitzed both of them. Juve, we look shocking. Like people say, oh, but we dominated the game. We had 2 shots on target. Like you can dominate possession all you like. You can dominate having 4 times as many passes. We didn't put the ball in the net. Oh, actually, we did twice at the wrong end. Granit Xhaka's own goal in that game, by the way. Have you seen it? Like, what a header! Like maybe stick him up front. Like, what a goal! Like, that has got to be the best own goal I've seen for a long, long time. But Terry, I'm not going to sit here and say we're getting top 4 yet. It's 14 games. There's still 24 to go.
Yeah, I get you.
We've still got to play City twice. And our January fixtures, by the way, we've got Newcastle on the 3rd of January. Yeah, we've got Man United and Tottenham next month. That's 3 fixtures we've got to play straight away against 3 difficult teams. And it's Tottenham away where we haven't won for years. So I wouldn't rule it out just yet. Like, we've not got our best player playing. The January window's not going to be open until January, obviously. Then we've got to try and get a player in, hope he hits the ground running, by which time we may have lost a few games. So all of a sudden, we could be down to 3rd or 4th by that time. No, if we don't pick up the points against West Ham and Brighton, then Man City pick up their points, they're top of the table. All of a sudden, it's a big turnaround, Terry. And like, I don't know. Their City's fixtures are mad. I can't lie. Yeah, City's fixtures are crazy. But yeah, I wouldn't be putting us in top 4 just yet, mate.